Your production line is running smoothly until there's a machine fault, a material shortage, or a quality issue that brings everything to a stop. The faster your team knows about the problem, the faster they can respond. In this video, I will show you how to build a simple Andon system using a Maple Systems HMI and remote coupler, I/O, and tower stack light without using a PLC. We will configure the remote coupler and I/O in EasyRemoteIO, build the HMI project in EBPro, and control a 3-color tower stack light over Modbus TCP communication. Hi, my name is Kyle, and welcome to another Maple Systems video training series. All right, let's begin by looking at how everything connects together. The PC, the Maple Systems HMI, and remote I/O coupler all connect to the same Ethernet switch. Each device is assigned its own IP address on the same subnet, which is 255 for this example. The PC is only used during development to configure the HMI and remote I/O and download the projects from EBPro and EasyRemoteIO softwares. The HMI communicates directly with the remote I/O using Modbus TCP over Ethernet. Instead of sending commands to a PLC, the HMI writes directly to the remote I/O output channels. Those outputs drive the red, amber, and green segments of the tower stack light. Once the project has been downloaded, the HMI and remote I/O continue operating without requiring the PC. Let's take a look at the wiring here. The remote I/O module provides 24-volt sourcing outputs to each light segment. Channel 0 controls the red light, Channel 1 controls the amber light, and Channel 2 controls the green light. The tower stack light, HMI, and coupler all receive 24-volt DC from a power supply. This simple architecture eliminates the need for a PLC while still providing reliable industrial control. All right, now we're going to configure the remote I/O. So we're going to be using EasyRemoteIO, and you can download and install this from the Maple Systems website. Once you have it installed, you'll open it up and it'll look just like this. Now we need to add the coupler first. So if you have it connected to your network and it's powered on, you should be able to scan it within the program. So if you go here and click Automatic Scan, and then click Scan, you'll see automatic scanning, scanning complete. And here is that IRETN. So we'll be using the IRETN for this example. And here's the IP address. So you click OK, and it gets added to your project. Now, I also have a digital I/O module connected to the IRETN. That is the IRDM16P. So because it's connected to it, it automatically populates within the project. So click the IRDM16P. And you can see the digital inputs here, 0 through 7, and the digital outputs 0 through 7. For this example, we're going to be using digital output 0, 1, and 2. 0 for the red light, 1 for the amber light, and 2 for the green light. Go to your address map, take a look at the Modbus addresses. So within EBPro, the HMI project, we're going to be using 0x0, 0x1, and 0x2. So you need to know those addresses within your EBPro project to communicate over Modbus with your remote I/O. Now all we need to do is just go online with this project. So make sure that your remote I/O is powered on and connected to your network. You just click this button here, Start Monitoring, and you'll see that the IRETN is green and we are monitoring that remote I/O. But now we need to configure the HMI in EBPro. All right, now we're going to configure the HMI in EBPro, and we're going to be building the user interface for the Andon system. So this is what we're going to be interacting with. So you can see the project here. I want to show you how you create a new project in EBPro. So we're going to be using the CMT3108XP for this example. And you go to File, New, and then you'll select the CMT3108XP, and then you click OK, and it starts a new project. I'm just going to open the existing project I already had. After you start a new project, you're going to need to add the remote I/O Modbus TCP driver protocol. And to do that, you go to the Home tab, and then System Parameters, and you'll need to add the remote I/O Modbus TCP IP. To do that, you go to New Device/Server, right here, and then add remote I/O Modbus TCP IP. When you add that, you need to make sure that you have the correct IP address assigned to that protocol. So we'll go to Settings here once you add it. And I already have it configured here, but this is the IP address they're going to be communicating with. This is the IP address of that remote coupler. So it's going to be 192.168.255.90. Make sure that you enter port number 502, which is for Modbus, and then device default station number 1. And then you click OK, and it adds that device into your project. This is an Andon system sample project, so you have your stack lights over here on the right, red, amber, and green. So you have your fault stop alarm for red, warning is amber, and then green is okay and running. Here is a meter from 0 to 1000. If it's within 0 and 599, it's within the green, it's okay. If it's between 600 and 899, that's going to be warning, and then from 900 to 1000, that's in the red. That's going to be an alarm, and your red light will be on. And you have your load value here, which is your numeric display. And we also have our alarm display here, so you'll see all your alarms for fault, stop alarm, and running. So for the numeric display, double click this. Here are the properties. So we're going to have a read-write address of LW0 and allow input. This is going to be the load value that will determine whether the lights are in running, warning, or fault stop alarm. And you also have your meter. And the meter display is going to be reading LW0 as well. The value is going to be 0 to 1000. Going over to the bit lamps for your stack lights, start with the red light. So that's going to be looking at the Modbus address, like I mentioned before, 0x0. So that is tied to digital output 0 on your remote I/O. So make sure that you choose that device, which is the remote I/O Modbus TCP IP. And then you can choose the color, which is going to be red when it's in state 1, and then gray when it's in state 0. Going down to the warning light, you're going to be choosing the same device, the remote I/O Modbus TCP IP 0x1, which is digital output 1 for your amber light. And then your green light is going to be 0x2, so it's digital output 2 on your remote I/O. And then you have to configure your event alarm display. So go to data/history, event alarm log, and we have 2 events here. Let's go to the first one. This is going to be for your fault alarm. It's going to be reading LW0 again. And then for notification, it's going to be, which is going to be enabled. So you're going to enable a notification. It's going to be set on. And then when it's recovered, it'll turn off. So that's going to be looking at 0x0, which is the red light. If the value is greater than or equal to 900, the red light will turn on. So that is the first event. Then another one right here is going to be for the green light. LW0, notification enable, set on, and when it's recovered, it'll turn off. 0x2, which is the digital output 2 for the green light. If it's less than or equal to 599, the green light will be on. So the machine will be running if it's less than or equal to 599. For the warning amber light, we're going to be using a condition instead of an alarm event. So go over to object and then go to if condition. And we have one here. I'm just going to double click this. So what this is saying, it's going to be condition 1. It's going to use a value address, a word, so LW0 again. And then you're going to have an enable if value is greater than or equal to 600. And then click OK. Condition 2, to keep that range between 600 and 899, we're going to have another condition. Double click this. Word, LW0. If the value is less than or equal to 899, and then the output of that is going to be 0x1, which is digital output 1 for the warning light. So what you're saying is if it's greater than or equal to 600, it's going to turn on the warning light, and if it's less than or equal to 899, it's going to also turn. So within that range of 600, 899, the warning light will turn on. And that is how you would build your HMI user interface. Now we can download this project to the HMI. All right, now we can download this project to the HMI. To download, I'm going to go to Project, click Download. It's going to compile the project first, make sure there are no errors. And then you want to make sure this is displaying the correct IP address for the HMI. If you are downloading for the first time, check off runtime. If you're not, you can uncheck this and then just click download, and it'll reboot the HMI and it'll say finished, and that's how you would download the project to your HMI. Now I'm going to show you a live demonstration of this simple Andon system. So you can see on the right side of the screen is the HMI project. That is CMT viewer. You can see that the green light is on and the machine is running, and in the alarm display it says normal run. On the top left side of the screen is EasyRemoteIO, and if you check out the digital output number 2, you can see the online value is 1. So that is the green light, so you know that the Modbus communication is working. In the middle of the left side of the screen is the live camera view of the actual tower stack light. You can see the green light is on, and also you can see your remote coupler and I/O that are on, and you can see the red LED light for digital output 2 is on as well. So everything is working and communicating. I want to show you what it would look like if your meter went into the warning zone, and then if your meter went into the red alarm emergency zone as well. So I'm going to put a value of 700 to set it into the warning zone. You can see in your HMI project that the warning light is on, the yellow light, and in EasyRemoteIO, digital output number 1 has a value of 1, and in the camera feed you can see that the amber light is on as well. I'm going to send it into the red zone now. And you see the red light is on your HMI project, and in EasyRemoteIO, digital output number 0 has a 1 for online value, that's on, and in your camera feed you can see the red light is on the tower stack light, and on your remote I/O, the LED light for digital output number 0 is on. Now I'm going to put a value of 100 to send it back to green. Now we are back in the normal run mode for the machine, and the green light is on. And that's all there is to it. You now know how to build a simple Andon system using a Maple Systems HMI, remote I/O, and tower stack light. Well, you'll learn how to configure the remote I/O, built the HMI interface in EBPro, communicated over Modbus TCP, downloaded the projects, and controlled a 3-color tower stack light directly from the HMI. For more detailed step-by-step instructions, be sure to visit the integration article on the Maple Systems website. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Maple Systems YouTube channel for more training content. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.